what would be your advice on friendship? I'm sure Kayla knows this, and maybe Rachel is aware of this, that a lot of people with, I'm going to use Kayla's terminology because I like it better. A lot of people who are differently abled, have their own different struggles with friendship at times. Not everybody, but many do. And so what would your advice be on friendship?
Always being there for each other, picking them up when they fall, and again, just communicating. If it's not in person, it's in the text. If it's not in the text, it's on Facebook. But anyway, you can have a conversation, the better your friendship is.
Yes. Yep.
That was great advice, Kayla. Kayla, that was great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Rachel, what about you?
I think always, trying to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, be honest. Sometimes you have, the person doesn't want to hear what you have to say, but it's the truth. When you're giving advice. And I think just always, being honest with one another.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
being supportive, and, picking that person up if they need to be picked up, or telling them, you know what, you might want to go take a seat for a little while.
Yeah.
Cool off.
In there.
Yep. Think this one through a little bit more, So I think support.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Support and encouragement.
Yes, absolutely. Encouragement.
Support and encouragement. Now, Rachel, I'm going to ask you this because there are a lot of people in schools, particularly, be it high school, middle school, elementary school, college, who are typically developing peers, who may want to interact with people who are differently abled, but they're just awkward and they don't know how to do it. And I think that's an unseen barrier in some friendships. So what advice would you have there for these people?
That don't hold back. You might feel awkward in the beginning, and you might feel like, oh no, I'm going to say the wrong thing. If you do say the wrong thing, it's a learning curve. You have to just really don't let that stop you from becoming friends with somebody, and, just learn. It's an experience, and learn from it. And, if you do say the wrong thing, learn, and don't be afraid to become friends with, and don't be afraid to become friends with somebody because, of a disability, because it really shouldn't put a wall up.
Exactly.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of in Kayla's last podcast, which I'm dating myself here because we're recording ahead of time. This is not going to air until 2020. But at this point in time, Kayla's last podcast, which I thought was very impactful, was with Johnny Taylor. And he said, reach one, teach one, that's how we'll change the world. And that reminds me of what you just said a little bit, in a different way. Reach one, teach one, that's how we'll change the world. And every single time Kayla has an interaction, something important like that comes out. Kayla, what would be your advice? Same question. There's somebody in college, since that's the environment you're in now, who may not know, or may just be hesitant, or maybe shy as to how to interact with somebody who's differently able. What would your advice be to them?
If you don't know, and that's okay too, go up and ask me a question. Come up and say something to me. Don't be afraid to say something because, oh, she's differently abled. Do I really want to talk to her? Yes! We are human beings just like everybody else. And this is what I say when I talk to congressmen and women, that we all wear our pants the same way, one leg at a time.
Yeah.
That we are human beings and want to be treated like that. It kind of goes back to saying the golden rule, do unto others that others would do to you. That I'm a human being, and I'm talking to the Greta Harrison of this podcast. I'm talking to Rachel, who's one of my best friends, that, hey, we're here. Let us be who we are. Be yourself. If you're not yourself, then who are you? And that's the most important, and just being yourself and being in the community where we are most definitely valued.
And if you don't do it, look what you're missing out on. A friend like Kayla. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Very powerful words, you guys.
Thank you.
Very powerful words. What would think about, close your eyes and think about yourself in 10 years.
Old.
What did you say? Old?
Yeah, I've been 42.
Oh, in 10 years I'll be 60. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, that's me, Rachel. Hey.
No offense.
Hey, Rachel. That's not so bad. It's better than the alternative.
Don't turn it
Well,
off.
yeah, the alternative is not so good. So.
That's right. So think about 10 years from now, besides the number, okay? Think about 10 years from now where you want to be in your life. So I'm going to ask each of you where you want to be in your life, and then I want to ask where you see, like Kayla, where you see Rachel fitting in there, and Rachel, where you see Kayla fitting in there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, Kayla, close your eyes, and this is I've got a magic wand. In 10 years, what would you like your life to be like?
In 10 years, I know I want a family of my own and to be able to live independently on my own and doing what I always dreamed of doing, which is, yes, be in the same job position that I am now, but never forgetting my friends. And I always want Rachel in my life because there's nobody like Rachel, and I need her.
Oh, that's so sweet. And Kayla, where do you see yourself living? Do you see yourself living
on my own independently, maybe in a neighboring area of Syracuse, maybe like Liverpool or something like that.
Okay, so you see yourself staying around in the same area, obviously being independent.
Area, but independently as I can.
Okay.
Because I'm learning the life skills that I need, that I can go forth and do that.
Okay. All right, and you will, because Kayla, I can't believe we've gone this time without saying it. Tell everybody your motto. What's your motto?
Do I have a motto?
Do you?
You do. I'm ready, willing, and able.
Anyway, I wish I could coin that, but I really can't because that's NDSS's motto.
But okay, that's NDS's motto for everybody. You can say that you live by that, right?
But I do live by that. I am ready, willing, and able to walk, to have friends, to be in an environment where people are accepting. But my personal motto is don't squash your dreams and don't let parents limit their children. And that's the best motto I can ever live by is don't squash your dreams. And we are more alike than different. And nothing about us without us. Because without Rachel, I wouldn't be where I am today because of our friendship the way it is. And I can't be without my parents because of my role models that I look up to.
Wow. Very eloquent. Very well said, Michaela. That's very well said, Kayla.
Thank you.
Wow. That's really cool. So you live by NDSS's motto and you have several other mottos.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Rachel, where do you see yourself in 10 years and how does Kayla fit into that?
You know,
close your eyes and make it. I've got a magic wand. It can be anything you want.
I would like to be on a beach in 10 years, happily retired, but, you know,
I'll join you.
Right? Get a little beach condo. You know, I love what I do. So God willing, I'm still doing what I do.
Yeah.
And, you know, you still will be in my life at that point.
I certainly hope so.
Yes. And, you know, I really, you know, back to what Kayla's dream is, I would like to be at Kayla's place having her cook me dinner. I think that would be really great.
Yeah, house party.
Oh, yeah. I'll bring the wine.
Thank you.
So you're definitely part of each other's lives way down the road.
Right. Oh, yes,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah. If it's been this long, for sure, right?
And we'll go along until the day we die.
Yes.
Well, not that far, but
Oh, hey.
I'm kidding. Not the dime, Paul.
Now, Kayla, what's your favorite thing about Rachel?
The way she smiles and the way she has her outlook in life.
Aw, thanks.
You're the best.
So are you. Oh.
And Rachel, what's your favorite thing about Kayla?
Her spirit. Just, she wants to do something. There's nothing that's going to get in her way, and she just goes for it. And I really admire that about her.
You are really the best.
Oh no, you're the best. No crying.
I'm not crying. I promise I'm not gonna cry.
Yeah, she'll get me a lot. Like we'll start crying. And I was thinking about remember when I got interviewed? I think it was by Channel 9 when you came home from Greece after the Special Olympics.
Oh yeah.
Of course, the local news, I'm crying, because they asked me how I felt about her, and I was like, oh, she's, I'm so proud, and yeah. So we do have a lot of our crying proud moments, not sad, but, proud. We both.
The happy tears.
Happy tears. We're criers.
Yeah.
Now, you just brought up Special Olympics, which I could have put that in your big long introduction, Kayla, and I didn't. But
That's completely okay.
Well, what do you do in Special Olympics exactly? Like, I know that everybody there's so many sports. What do you like?
I play a variety of sports. Right now I'm bowling. I do track and field, soccer, floor hockey, basketball, and I went to Athens, Greece for basketball in 2011. It was pretty cool because sometimes the news channel, whatever it may be, it keeps the paparazzi and you can interview that way too.
Yeah.
So bocce and floor hockey are my two favorite sports. Bocce is more a summer sport. And that's why I went to Greece. And I won a second place and third place medal. And then floor hockey upcoming, which is a winter sport. The goalie for my team. So I just mad talk my other teammate, the bigger teammates. And I'm like, hey, big boy, want a piece of me? Or not in my house. And they're good at it. They'll give it back to me too.
And
those are my two favorites.
So Rachel, have you been a part of Special Olympics too at all?
Actually, no, I haven't. Now that I have more free time, my kids are grown, I think I'm going to start getting more involved in that. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Have you been there to watch Kayla at all for any of her events or?
You know what? No, not in person. I'll usually have it streaming somewhere, and watch her that way.
Like when I was in Greece, they streamed it on the news back here when I was there. So I think that's where Rachel, so it was streaming back here.
Right.
Rachel was able to watch what I was doing.
Yeah, because that was a big thing.
Yeah, but I was in Greece for 3 weeks competing, getting acclimated to the culture. It was amazing.